Hey guys, Moses with Negron Tech here, and today I am bringing you the starter that I'm going to play, the starter that's going to get you from the beginning of the game, whether you're going to do a campaign skip or not, to monoliths, smooth sailing, your 10-10 harbingers, and easy, very comfortable Abberoth kill. Even without gear, I'm a solo self-found player. I'll play Circle of Fortune. I always do that. And this build is, if you're not a meta cuck, if you want to do something different, instead of just a typical stuff, oh, the best build, the best Void Knight build, the best Hammerdin build. Well, I got a good combination for you guys coming up. Hey guys, so since this is just a starter build guide, I do have many other videos on my channel going over the Hammerdin, the Disintegrating Aura Void Knight Hammerdin. This build focuses on void damage and damage over time, which is how you're going to scale to the end game. You're going to eventually max out your block chance, have some high armor, and insane leech and leech rate recovery, and that's going to be able to push absolutely insane monoliths. And I push over to the 600-700s on this build. I'm pretty sure you can get to the thousands pretty comfortably once you do get a proper shield and max block and get a little bit better gear with void and damage over time scaling. But this is the build, right? And there's going to be two versions. There's going to be a starter build from start to finish, and then there's going to be the end game build after you're able to get some uniques. The beautiful thing about last Epoch is that you're able to more efficiently target farm unique compared to Path of Exile, where you can play solo self out for like 100 hours and you will never see the unique that you need for your build, right? So that's really, really cool, right? So we'll go right into it. This is a Disintegrating Aura Hammerdin build. Hammerdin, well, Hammer Throw is going to be your best skill. You have the Aura. Well, not an Aura, but it orbits around you. It's that beautiful D2 playstyle. You love it. You go over here, Disintegrating Aura, and you get mana cost reduction, more projectiles, more mana cost reduction. If you don't get the levels, find the balance with attack speed and mana cost reduction. That's pretty much it. Disintegrating Aura is interesting because it does scale with your it does not scale spell damage. It's your void damage over time, and your flat throwing does affect it as well. So flat throwing void damage will increase the base damage of Disintegrating Aura. Now, the thing about Hammerdin, the Void Knight, is that this is probably the most underplayed Hammerdin I think I've seen. I have played this for over a year and a half, really, since I started picking up last Epoch, and nobody plays it. I don't know why. I've seen one other person last patch or two patches ago play it, and the only reason why I think they played it is because this unique came out. Now, this build used to be pretty, maybe like the 400 to 500 corruption. There have been some changes to uniques. I'll talk about it in a second here, but pretty much let's get to the starter version of the build, right? We're not going to do any Paladin dip, and we're not going to do any Forge Knight dip, right? Void Knight got reworked, and the tree is insane. Is this tree optimized to the best of my knowledge? I don't know. But, we get a lot of the stuff, a lot of damage multipliers. Time Rock got Giga buff, so that's going to really, really help us. One of our primary ailments, Future Strike, got removed, but no big deal. The Time Rock buff plus with Doom, all the other Void buffs with the tree should massively increase our damage. Our mana should be better with Void Essences. They do give flat more damage too, so that's cool. And there's some things that we might fix, but the long story short is that the Void Knight tree is incredible, and it's so good that I'm not sure I can justify putting 15 points in Paladin for Holy Symbol or whatever it's called, and then 3 points for like more block and stuff like that. I think pure Void Knight's probably the way to go, right? So both trees for the end game and the early game is gonna be the same, pretty much. The skills are gonna be different. Starting off in last Epoch, right? One thing to know is that if you do see builds that are not Paladins and they go their 15 points in Paladin for Symbol of Hopes, it's a big power delay, right? So you go to Paladin, you spend 15 points here. That's 15 points that you're losing here, where you get the move speed, all this echo chance. This got buffed too. That used to not give throwing attack speed, so this is massive. Very, very good time legion here. Like, this tree is so juicy. It is crazy. I cannot wait to play it. Like, our build got so good, I'm actually kind of scared that it might be like one of the meta Hammerdin builds, but hopefully people still play Bleed. All right. Another great thing about starting off this build is that you don't have to worry about the idols. I know I have them here, but you can ignore them. Like, you don't have to farm the idols initially. Like, you really just play normally, and you're just going to play purely your Hammerdin, and you're going to use some dot damage with Thriving Orb, Abyssal Echoes, and pretty much that's it. Like, once you get to the 10-10 Harbingers, which this build does fine, I've done it solo self-found 4 different times. Very, very convenient. Then you're just going to use your Void skills. Devouring Orb and now auto cast. I think this is new to this patch. You get global more damage, mana regen. If you get enough vitality, it's another 10% more. Very, very good. Vada Reversal. Very, very, very cool. You take more damage. I actually have to fix this. I don't know why I updated the build, and I'll fix this for the video. But Pretty much you're going to get over here to get more damage over time taken. So when you do volatile reversal, your armor is going to apply to enemies damage over time, which is good. And I think this is what they got rid of. There used to be like a global more damage taken multiplier. I'm pretty sure they got rid of it. So the only thing we get now, you'll go to Frenzy and you'll definitely get your 4 points here. So you can get enemies take more dot damage. So because that's all our damage, right? All our damage is going to be void damage over time. Void damage is there over time. When you get your exalted gears, those are the two big affixes that you want, 6 and 7. And you know, when you get your rings, you want those to be 6 and 7 for throwing damage and minus reduction. So Abyssal Echoes, like these Abyssal Echoes and Devouring Orb are not going to be your late game skills, but until you get to the late game, that's what you want to use. Symbols of Hope is really, really good, but I mean, I just can't figure out a way to justify even taking points out of here. There's so much good stuff here. Maybe you want to get rid of some mana and maybe get a little bit of leech, get rid of that, or the health over here. I mean, 30% health in the tree is kind of nuts, so that's kind of tough. But Symbols of Hope, yes, it's really, really good. So if you do want to go it in the earlier game before you get to like the 90s, you can do it. But again, like I think it's a pretty big power negative, right? So that's what Volatile Reversal does. You use it, you go back in time, you pretty much press it, you recover your mana, and the enemy's gonna take an absolute metric ton more damage, right? So very, very, very cool. It did get nerfed a little bit because I could have swore it used to be like they take 100% more damage, and I'm not seeing it anywhere over here. Yeah, whatever. All right, Abyssal Echoes. This is really just a temporary fix. You're gonna get nether coating over here somewhere. Forgot where it is or whatever. Yeah, nether coating gives you time route. That's no big deal, but really just more attack speed buff. Get some more damage over time that gets taken with hits, so they take more damage over time. Helps with Volatile Reversal, and you know, as you're hitting them, you're gonna proc that Abyssal Echoes damage. So these are not gonna do a lot of damage, but they're enough damage, really not multipliers, but supplemental damage hits that will help you get to the end game to where you can focus on your pure dot damage. And of course, Anomaly, time bubble. You know, you get your time bubble, increase health leech. You get 100% uptime on this because you get the duration, the effects last longer, blah, blah, blah. You know, they take more void damage. Very, very, very good. So a lot of cool stuff here. It's a very, very strong core of abilities. And for your gear, again, you're not going to get these uniques. You might get a Weaver's Will. That's great. The Siphon of Anguish you'll worry about later. But really, as you're going up and you're farming your monoliths, you really want to get your void damage and your damage over time are your big ones. That's how you're going to scale your damage, max out your resist, armor, health. If you get a really, really nice shield, that's great too. And now as you get to 10-10 Harbingers, and the nice thing is that we'll go to right here and we'll look at Abberoth's command, which came out back in 2 patches ago, I believe. And this is in Fall of the Outcast, which is actually the first timeline empowered. So once you do get unlock your empowered timelines, you're going to farm Fall of the Outcast until you get Abberoth's command. This item is absolutely nuts. Getting all that damage over time, AoE, the Void Pen, very, very good. But what it really does for you is enables Ravaging Aura. So now, instead of having just our Disintegrating Aura and these other subpar supplemental void skills, now we get to focus on an incredible aura that gives leech, gives a lot of damage that scales with the void and damage over time. Very, very easy to target farm. You're gonna replace your Abyssal Echoes and your Devouring Orb, and you're gonna get Void Cleave. Void Cleave is just crazy, right? Like you get Ravaging Aura, pretty good damaging skill, and now you just get more void damage or time proc, which is great. You farm more uniques. You're not gonna use Orions, but you'll get a Siphon, or you'll get Stymied Fate and or Atrophy. And what happens is that you get boots that allow you to apply Doom. Doom does massive void damage over time. It's very, very good. Doom, Time Rot, it used to be Freezer Strike, Ravaging Aura, your Disintegrating Aura, pretty much your ailments, your damage over time, and all those stacking, you do incredible damage. Now, there is something to talk about here because you do probably want to use Smite. The only reason really why you're going to use Smite, it's not for the damage. You're really only using it because the blind chance. And what blind does in last Epoch compared to PoE is that it actually makes you crit immune. So when you do push, like, I would say like 300 to 400, like, and you go to like the 700-800, I'm going to try to get to like 1,000 corruption this league. Once you do get there, you're pretty much crit immune. That in combination with block chance, you probably want the shield from the boat guy, Bulwark. So you get Bulwark. I don't know why there's such high legendary potential, but with the block chance, you would probably get one with legendary potential and get block chance on that. With that armor, the block chance, the Apocalypse really isn't much, but it gives you a little bit more void damage. It does suck that you have to increase void damage. You have melee critical strike instead of like damage over time, but no big deal, right? But you will get that. But it's really Abberoth's command that completely opens up the build. It allows you to use Void Cleave. Void Cleave procs Ravaging Aura. Smite gives you crit immune, and you still use Valdar Reversal and Anomaly. And that's the build. Like, you'll see I killed Abberoth with a very subpar setup. I killed Abberoth with a Holy Paladin dip. Again, the tree wasn't as good as it is now, but I'm telling you guys, like, I promise you, you can get to your in solo self on. If you're in trade, it's going to be even better. It's an incredible build. A lot of quality of life. If you go Paladin, you don't have to worry about all the BS with Symbols of Hope. It'll be automated. Devouring Orb is automated now. Abyssal Echoes, like, leveling up, all you got to do is press like 4 buttons, and then you're done. It's a lot of fun. It's an incredible build. It's way faster than Bleed Hammerdin too, so that's a really, really nice thing. And the other big benefit is that all this is target farmable. Like Atrophy, Stymied Fate, Symphon of Anguish, they all farm off Ouroboros, or whatever you call it. I don't know. I think of the Resident Evil like company. And you get this from the first empowered, and that's really it. You get the other really, really nice shield from the boat, Hargan, I think. And it's really, really easy to like target farm. It's a 50% chance, guys, or Hearten. So it is really, really nice. If you're kind of like not sure about your starter build, and you want to do something more low-key and a little bit more hipster, this would be the build to do it. It's incredible. I can't say enough good things about it. I love this build so much, and every time I post a video about it, it doesn't get that many views compared to like my Lightning Shaman and stuff like that, but it's a great build. Give it a chance. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll update. I'll have both my builds here, and I'll try to fix. I don't know why every time you save it to last Epoch tools, like 1 or 2 things don't save. And but just give me any questions, write in the comments, and let me know. Most of Necrotech, right? Most of Necrotech here. Have a good one.